expansion that Kristen already had KWRI legal made that was available for the $99 a month plan. When I logged in, I could have just downloaded it and saved $9,901. I didn't do that. A lot of those things, they've already figured it out. The models and the spreadsheets and all these tools are already here for us, so that's awesome.
There's a class that Kristen's built and created, and all of you guys are help support. And it's a magnificent class. It's a business class. It's really a business class.
So what I would like to give my one piece of advice to OPs and team leaders.
Okay.
Because I think it's important.
Okay.
One, this is the biggest opportunity to keep the highest producing agents in the nation, so they will never leave Keller Williams. They leave Keller Williams because they think that there isn't a franchise available in that neighborhood for them to own, or they think there's something missing that they can't have their world. This is the biggest world possible. It's a platform. So my advice for OPs and TLs, don't come to an agent and say, hey, come expand with us. Come to us with your language of real estate and tell us how are your offices performing compared to the market. Show me your training calendar because I want to leverage that training. And then give me your multi-year trends report and show me how many agents you gross this month. Because I want to know that new agents and agents are joining your market centers, and that's possible, so that I know when I'm going in there, I'm already on a winning team, right? If you know that, it's to work.
How many are in bold?
And how much profit share you have. Because that's one of the cool things that our people that are starting locations, they're adding 10 or 15 people to their profit share in that market center, and they want to take a piece of it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's basically agents without borders, right?
Yeah.
And it's becoming an agent, turning that into a business, and then recognizing that business can expand literally anywhere. It's just a function of making the core business defined, right, through models and systems, and then simple ones, by the way,
right,
that are duplicatable, that bring the value, right? And then it's finding individuals in other markets who want that value and working through the market centers, right? For the market center, this is one of the greatest opportunities they could ever have. So I appreciate you saying that.
Well, I ran into Brad Inman, he was walking out of tech, and he said, Ben, I don't understand this expansion thing that Gary's talking about. Just gonna ask you a question. I said, sure. So we talked about it for a second, and he said, so you have to go start a brokerage and rent a space in another state? No, we just use somebody else's Keller Williams office. So you don't know those Keller Williams? No, John, he already paid for the lease and the copy machine, the broker, the insurance. I just put an agent there. He said, so do you have to pay him? Yeah, I said, not very much. $18,000 for the first, if that was the cap, and then half for everybody else. He said, so you have no long-term liability, you have no long-term leases, and you just get to go put agents in there? And he just looked at me and said, that's probably the highest margin business that I've ever heard of.
It is.
It's probably the highest margin, and that is disruptive.
It is. It's one of the highest. That's what we tried to show yesterday. It's one of the highest margin businesses. So it's really cool, right? So you get in. What happened to you has happened to me. I got into this industry as a salesperson, and then all of a sudden my eyes got opened up, and I went, "Holy cow! I just stepped into the entrepreneurial magic kingdom." I mean, I literally stepped into a world that's cutthroat competition beyond belief, right? I go talk to other people in other businesses, in other industries. They are clueless. The cutthroat, I don't mean cutthroat as in unethical or immoral or illegal. I mean cutthroat as in downright, they're going to compete, right? There's nothing more competitive than a motivated real estate agent to go take a listing that you're trying to get, right? Or to get a buyer that you wish you had. I mean, the competition is fierce for that, right? It's agents without borders.
Yeah. You know what's funny is we're all going to the same cities, we're all going to the same offices.
Yeah, we are.
And we like it.
We do like
See
it.
all these expansion agents where you have 3 or 4 of us all in the same office in Denver or the same office in whatever state. I think that's really interesting that some offices are attracting expansionists and some of them are repelling.
Yeah, I'm going to let that just sit. I think that.
Can I say one thing about ESO? Because I think the expansion systems orientation class, I think people misunderstand and think that you would only come to that class if you're ready to expand now, or if you think you maybe want to expand in the future. The ahas that keep coming out of that class is, whether they ever expand or not, that is an incredibly great business class just to teach them how to think like business people.
It is.
And it's built on the very same 13 business points that you built the company with.
Yep.
So it just teaches them how to think like business people, whether they ever expand or not, or maybe they're just going to expand their current business, which is awesome also. Or maybe it's the market center that wants to